Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I want to start our session today, of course, quickly with some introductions from you guys, and then I can get into introducing myself and the game. So, welcome to my stream. You four are my first ever guests, so I'm excited to have you. Uh, I know it's really exciting. I'm really happy to have you all here. So I'd love to just stop or start, not stop. Start at the top and go around and have you guys introduce your names, your pronouns, um, and also your I guess experience with D&D because Twenty Sided Tavern is really cool. So basically, what you do. Um, so I'm gonna start from the have you start from the top left and then go around clockwise.
Who was in the
Not
top left?
not
I
sure
can't.
who
That's
I
you.
don't see the.
I think you're all the same. That one's
Who
you.
will claim the spot of top left? I'm Diego F. Salinas. I'm an actor and professional dungeon master. I'm also a cast member at the 20 Sided Tavern. And I'm very, very excited to be at the table here today to play some good old classic D&D. Uh, Popcorn to center right.
Ooh, popcorning.
Oh, that's gotta be me. Hi, I'm Cassidy Sledge. I am an actor at the 20 Sided Tavern as well. I played D&D for a couple years before joining the tavern, primarily as a player, but I've run a couple campaigns as well, and I am so freaking stoked for this one shot. Popcorn to who's in between me and Diego.
Sounds like me. Hi, everybody. I'm Connor. I'm also an actor at the 20 Sided Tavern. I usually DM when I am at the tavern, so I'm thrilled to be in the seat of a player today and find that sweet balance between poking and prodding Moon with just enough chaotic energy to keep it spicy while not being a total jerk. Popcorning it at last to the inimitable Maddie Murphy.
Hello. Yeah, hi, I'm Maddie Murphy, she, her pronouns. I'm a cast member of the 20 Sided Tavern. I found Dungeons and Dragons only a few years ago and for doing the purposes of the show, but I've always been madly in love with long form storytelling, and I'm the co-founder of a long form narrative improv company back in Chicago, my hometown.
Sweet. Thank you all for being here. Again, really excited. 20 Sided Tavern, please come to my city and I can come see you guys. Um, it's about time you come to the West Coast.
About time,
Real.
especially
Amen.
to West.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'll be there waiting. So let me know. I'll introduce myself as well. My name is Moon. I am the DM for Spare the Crying, which is a D&D actual play podcast. And I also, of course, do things like run this channel, run the Spare the Crying social media pages, and I have been playing for 6 years, something like that now. It's been an on and off experience. I think I learned about D&D in high school and like didn't really get it or was too embarrassed or something. So I'm glad to finally be doing it properly now. And this tale that we're telling today is going to take place in the Spare the Crying podcast world. But don't worry, you do not need to know any of the like deep lore or anything like that. This is a spin-off. It is your story. So don't worry, I'm not going to drop 70 episodes of lore on you guys to keep you in.
And we promise not to irrevocably change the world by making something canon that shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. That's what D&D is all about. Sometimes you
Your
directly
explicit
change the
permission
world.
only.
I think it'd be pretty cool if you did that actually. So don't hold yourself back. And if you guys are ready, I can just dive right into our tale. We can get going.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's
Okay.
do it.
All right. So, as I said, this tale takes place in the world of Spare the Crying podcast, a place where long ago humanity's forces destroyed the very earth. But this story begins about 7 centuries after that downfall. Nowadays, Fey-kind, Archfey, Celestials, Elementals protect small pockets of land, referred to as islands, from the cursed lands that surround them, the oceans of aberration and danger. But nothing is free, is it? The guardians of these islands of safety always demand payment in some form or another. These islands were isolated from each other, and it's only recently that train lines have begun to connect one community to another. But tickets aren't cheap. For most, travel is a dream. But not for our adventurers here. So, let's begin. In this world, and how I hate to say it, money speaks. They say it can't buy happiness, but when we've built our world around it, it might as well, right? Might as well, they say. So I'm curious. Tell me. And don't worry, it's just between you and me. What happiness is this money gonna buy you? What did you see? What did you hope for when that representative over at the wealthy portside island of Freya offered you a large sum of gold in exchange for this dangerous adventure? What calls to you?
Well, I'm the groundskeeper down at Old Sylvan's Wood. We've been falling on some hard times recently. Not able to give the dead a proper burial. Not able to keep the cemetery the beautiful place of honor that it should be. And I think a little coin might go a long ways to allowing us to restore this home to its former beauty. I just want to do honor by the woods, is all.
"5 years ago, I left my farm after finding a strange fossil under the earth. I've wandered around, but now my patron requires a goal that needs financial support to achieve. I must scrounge together, however I can, the requisite gold so that I can fulfill the demands of the voice from the deep."
Well, now, you live as long as I do, you know that money only gets you so far. I've had fortunes. I've had them come and go. What really pulls me is what's new. Sure, being given some gold in these lean times is useful, especially if I want to give it back to the commons folk, but what I want to know is how else to get a ticket so pricey to get out to that island. I hear tell there may be something I've been looking for, and I'm willing to bet my last life on it.
I love mushrooms. I think they're delicious. But I've grown tired of the mushrooms in this island, and I want to taste the mushrooms the world has to offer. The gold is nice as a bonus, but I want the shrooms.
Don't we all? Interesting. Different reasons, motivations, but you're all here now. And that money speaks, and those mushrooms speak, and they call to you. It wasn't always this way, or so we may tell each other when night is dark and the oil runs low. But why does that matter? It's the way of things now, and now is where we begin. The present. And, presently, you are all woken with a start from your dream of your desires, so close to your heart that it felt real, by a terrible noise. The train screeches to a halt in the middle of the night by an empty station, with a lovingly painted sign lit by candlelight that reads Tinderdale, your destination. You were all sent to Tinderdale, known to be a small, quiet sort of island, the station brand new, because apparently treasure waits for you inside. And that wealthy benefactor back at home hopes that someone someone finally will be able to take it back to him. The dense quiet outside your window settles around with the golden leaves, fallen and falling still from overreaching branches. And the door to your compartment opens. The conductor stands there, mostly just shadow at this dark hour. This is your stop. The next train heading to Freya passes by in 3 days, so we'll check in on you. See if you're here by then. If you come back.
If.
I mean when you come back. When you come back, of course.
There we go. It all takes a little change of attitude. Suddenly the darkness don't seem so dark, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm sure, listen, I mean, the past adventurers who came by here, they seemed like they didn't know what they were doing. They were practically fumbling with their swords. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
So wait, you dropped them off and never saw hide nor hair of them again. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Sorry. Do you guys not know about this place?
You ain't got nothing to apologize for, but you sure have piqued my curiosity.
They like sort of tug at their collar. Maybe do I have the? And they pull a little like notebook out of their pocket, flip through it, like look back at the compartment name. What are your names? Do you mind telling me?
There, no, no harm in introduction. My name's Milo Mangelwurzel, out from Old Sylvan's Wood.
Well, as you said, that is Milo. I am Zoomy Nine Lives. Some call me Zozo, Zoom, Zamboomafu, whatever you might call. Other islands have heard of me. But it's the first time here at Tinderdale, so I don't blame you none for not knowing that.
Hello, I'm Tom.
Hey, Tom.
I'm Milo.
Hey, Tom.
Hello,
Nice to see
Zoomy.
you again, Tom.
Hello.
My name's Elvia de Zampango. And you can see that she is wearing these like light blue, like a light blue robe that has a short little hood on it, and she's carrying a necklace that has what appears to be like fish bones, like made around it. Not like a grotesque way, but like in a, polished, reverential sort. I say it's been quite some time since the four of us were in the same room. It's been years.
It's been lives, really.
Speak up, Milo. Couldn't hear you just then.
You can just say I missed you.
I missed y'all too.
I missed y'all too. I gotta say, didn't think I'd be coming back a couple of times there, and makes you appreciate all the more when you get to see your old pals, Milo, Tom, Elvia. And at this point, you see that Zumi gets kind of a look in his eyes, like there's something a little bit dreadful in the back, but he shakes it off real quick and goes, "Good to be back with buddies."
Excuse us for being so rude. What's your name, Mr. Conductor, sir?
And they're still like kind of looking at their notes, like they're half listening to you, half trying to read something. My name's Ren. You are the ones sent, right? By Oberon up in Freya to investigate Tinderdale, right? That is correct. But you
Were indeed.
You haven't heard about what happens to people who come here?
In our line of work, we often find out it's best not to know the tragedies of those who came before us, lest it makes us unsure of our situation.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm probably not helping that so much.
But I mean, if you've
yeah,
got info.
well, basically, there's like the outer, there's the town of Tinderdale, and then there's the church. Oh, we lost someone.
I suspect Maddie's experience is anything like our own, the hotel Wi-Fi occasionally would just be like, bye.
Zoomy Nine
There it
Lives
is.
is like Zoomy Nine Lives like
Zoomy
I
took a
don't have
nap.
time. I don't have time for this. I'm leaving.
One of their
I'm
9
outta
lives
here.
gone.
No, yeah, Zumi just kind of had a brief flashback in his back. So sorry, technical difficulties.
It
Sorry.
happens to us all.
You were saying, Conductor Rin?
I was saying, there's the town on the outside. You should be fine. Most people, if they want to visit, they just go in and out. They say hi to the locals, things like that. Get a few souvenirs. But it's the church in the inner circle of the town where they say the treasure's being kept, and no one knows what it is. And I'm starting to get your accent, and no one knows what it is. and
It's contagious.
anyone who
Yeah.
goes in there ends up not being able to make their way out.
If you don't mind, Reddit, I noticed you used the word kept. Who's doing the keeping?
The keeping of the treasure. Well, the worshippers at the church, they say, they're a very kind of enclosed little group. Most of them, they go into that inner circle. They say even they don't come out, but they must maintain the grounds. So, I guess, I don't know. Maybe some people say that the adventurers end up joining them. Like maybe the treasure's something so nice that they just end up staying, or maybe they get hypnotized and they don't want to leave anymore, or maybe they all get possessed by ghosts and all their desires leave them. But you said you don't want to hear too much, right? Because you don't want to be scared. So I should probably stop saying stuff.
I think there's a bit of a difference in holding your tongue so as to not make us scared, and holding your tongue in such a way that deprives us of the information we might need to keep ourselves safe and sane.
Okay, then yeah, that's what I heard. Glad I could be of service,
Right.
I guess. It's mostly rumors, but
Well, rumors, they got a seed somewhere.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Do you mind if I ask you one more question, Rennet?
No, go ahead.
Well, forgive me, I was under the impression that this treasure that we were being asked to procure, it wasn't under any particular ownership. You make it sound like we might be in the position of inadvertent marauders going and stealing it from a church.
Ren gives this half-hearted shrug. I think it depends who you ask. I mean, I just work here on the train, so
Uh,
I don't know all that much about ownership. I think that really that's a lot of people are upset that whatever it is, they're not sharing the wealth, I guess.
hmm.
I mean, I think it's.
Seems to me.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, Conductor Ran, I want to hear your thoughts.
Oh, Conductor Ren kind of blushes a little bit. Well, I think it would be nice if there's some kind of special treasure or blessed item or something like that. I think it'd be nice if they shared it instead of keeping it locked up behind a wall. Times are hard, but yeah, I guess. I mean, going into a town and taking treasure is going to be stealing no matter what.
I think in this case, responding to your blush, Zumi walks a respectful step closer to you, looks deep in your eyes. Zumi is 6'8" tall. basically a
Great.
tabaxi, but like a Maine Coon. So those big fleshed out ears. One has a chip out of it, covered in a patchwork of scars. But he looks at deep and midnight black fur, with the exception of amber eyes. And he looks deep into yours and he goes, Ren, my long lives, you only know one thing. Will to be curious after so much pain, after so much loss. Keeping to want the community alive, asking questions that you might not get the answer to. I'd say you're doing a fine job there. And he steps back, and as he does, there's 8 bells around his neck, and they tinkle lightly.
Thank you. Ren is not 6'8". Ren is like a young human of maybe 5'5" or so, and and just practically like stumbles out of the doorway when you step close. That's good. That's good to hear. We and from their other pocket they pull out this stopwatch. Look at it for a second. We don't usually really stop here. So I hate to sort of throw you off the train like this, but we do kind of need to get going to stay on schedule.
Not at all, Red. Not. Thank you for
No
your time.
worries.
Thank you, Ren.
We'll see you in 3 days.
3 days. Yeah.
Well, that kid thinks we're gonna die.
Yeah. I was getting that feeling too. There was a hopelessness of the way he was looking at us.
Yeah.
Remember, when we're adventuring, please stop trying to infect other people with your accents. Keep them to yourselves.
The disease has progressed too far. I'm sorry. I'm glad
Listen.
to know that you're immune.
You are, and these past few days on the train, Milo, Elvia, and I have really blended together, but you've held your own, Tom.
Thank you. It's just the will of a white English man.
My
All right, now,
eyes like
Tom,
glazed.
I'm going to ask you to stop proclaiming that quite so loudly and proudly. There's a real history that I feel like is being neglected there.
Yeah,
Right,
is there
yes, I
anyone
don't
else on
want
the
anyone.
train platform who heard this?
Um,
Like, are we like getting looks?
So, you all step out onto this train platform, and this is, I mean, the station that you all arrived to like board the train was this vast building. It was like a cathedral itself. There were people coming and going. There was this just sort of natural tide that had formed of the crowds. It was a port city. It's a trade city. There were multiple platforms, different trains coming from basically every line that crosses this land. Here, you step out. You hear the wind blow through the trees. You hear the sound of your footsteps as the train engine noise fades into the night, and that's about it. It almost looks abandoned, but for the cleanliness of the sign, the Tinderdale sign, hand painted above you. I think this is a great opportunity, though, for you all to say, though there is no crowd here at the station watching you, for us, for me, for those who listen, for those who you would imagine being here, what do you all look like? We got a description of of our Maine Coon. Was it a Maine Coon? Tabaxi?
Maine Coon.
Yeah, Zumi. But what about Milo, Elvia, and Tom? What do you all look like?
Elvia's got very calloused hands. She wears very simple, like light blue robes and that fishbone necklace. She's a tiefling that has like red skin and the very curly, almost ram-like horns that kind of she's braided her hair around the curvature of her horns. She started out as a farmer about 5, 6 years ago. One day she was digging a well in her property and she found an ancient and impossible fossil that she kept on her nightstand that a voice emanated from, and she's bound to it, and that's how she's moving through the world now in service of this voice and the powers that it grants her. She still carries implements of her former life as a farmer and has a sickle strapped to her side.
Tom is a gnome, forest gnome specifically. Picture like we're going full Boy Scout. Bro's got like a backpack that is as big as he is. He is 3'2", by the way. Real tiny little dude. He has like just like the most eclectic collection of instruments, musical instruments, strapped to his back. He also is passionate about cooking. So he has, like you see like ladles and whisks sticking out of his backpack. He has a pot that he likes to wear as a hat, kind of sort of in the way that Delicious in Dungeon is the pot is the backpack, but he went hat for it because it fits on his head. And he's got like a scraggly little beard. And I think his for his clothes he opted for comfort over style. All earth tones. I think maybe at one point they were white-ish, but now they're certainly beige and or brown, just through years of dirt.
How old is Tom?
How old do gnomes live to be? Like 30 years?
I think longer than that. Aren't they in like
Really?
the triple digit numbers?
I thought
Oh,
no.
yeah.
No way.
It's in the hundreds.
I thought
Like
they were
Oh.
long-lived.
Oh yeah, Ethel's
Yeah.
been alive for like 300.
350
Oh,
to
you're so
500,
right.
reaching maturity around 40.
Okay, great. We'll say Bro's solid 34.
34. So
Very
and not
young,
mature yet.
He's a little dude.
Like a
Yeah.
teenager.
In all ways.
Yeah.
Oh God, not a teenager.
Okay. Oh man, he's gonna hit puberty during the quest.
Oh, that's rough.
That's
buddy.
right, your birthday's in 3 days, Tom.
Just his first breakout.
He's gonna have a rough time of it. I'm so sorry, Tom.
Listen, happens to the best of us.
You're doing good. You're doing good, kid. Milo, if I'm not interrupting you, Cass, or cutting you
All
off.
done.
Milo is effectively what we would recognize as a raccoon. If you are interested in the Humblewood campaign setting, Mopuk is the species name, but effectively he's a raccoon. He's very old. He's pushing about 5 to 10 years past his expected lifespan. Maybe an inch taller than Tom. Maybe in his prime would have been 5 or 6 inches taller than Tom, but age and regret has weathered him a bit, and I think he's stooped now, walks with a gnarled wooden staff, tiny spectacles that rest at the very end of his whiskered nose. One of the frames of these glasses has broken off and a small twig has been attached, entwined with some grass. Very sort of archetypal forest dweller, robes, a lot of yellows and oranges and greens that have also been weathered through the years, sort of like that really giant sweater you would find at a Goodwill that's just been patched over and over and over, decades after decades. And I think that, in the way that you sort of look across a barbecue grill and the air shimmers a little bit from the heat, I think a similar thing happens with Milo's fragrance. It's not awful. It's not putrid. It's not going to make you gag, but it is striking. He just carries this musky smell of oversteeped tea, kind of like fermented bog odor. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, defermented bog.
If I may then just, because I gave the beginning of Zumi and I figure just to complete the vision. So yeah, Zumi 9 Lives, as we established, Maine Coon, very tall, tabaxi oriented. Very much so kind of like kind of has this Paul Bunyan sort of folklore vibe. Walks around with those 8 bells around his neck. each one representative of the lives that he's lost. Functionally, Zumi 9 Lives is known around because in every subsequent big quest he's gone on, it ended in his death. Drowning, lightning, snow, fire. And for some reason, he keeps coming back. So he wears bells to represent each one. You'll also know among his sort of folksy demeanor, he's big and strong, so just basic leathers, ripped from just wilderness living, and he wears a shirt that has tiny squares cut from each separate little quilt that the local folk have made him when he's helped him along his way. For some reason, somebody refers to it as a flannel, but he doesn't know what that means, so that's his quilt shirt. And when he's got suspenders holding up these ratty leathers, and across that, like a proper kind of bandolier that holds a great axe in the back. You'll also never find him without, just a small whittling knife, because he keeps pumpkins close, and you'll find that he appears to be always kind of carving out jack-o'-lanterns when there's idle times. And he doesn't go far without his flask of maple milk, because maple is restorative, and he needs calcium.
Maple milk?
Maple milk. So he's just a big...
Canada.
Yeah, maple milk! He's a big figure swaggering, kind of has a little bit of a paunch. He's lived a long time, and he's lived roughly, so there's wear and tear. For all, he moves as he moves in the way of somebody who doesn't think they're gonna get another shot.
Can I confirm that Elvia is rocking she, her, and everybody else
Yes.
is rocking a he, him? Is that correct?
Yes, Elvia's a she, her tiefling.
Great.
Oh yeah. And how tall would you say Elvia is, including the horns?
Including the horns and everything, respectable 5'8", 5'9".
Okay.
She's
But a
pretty-
respectable 5'8".
Yeah.
This
I
is
didn't just
also-
say that because that's my height, and I wanted to make sure, Yeah, that is the size chart. Yes, I think that is accurate.
The size chart. We got
Big
Tom
size
right
chart.
here, and just above we got Milo, Elvia, and then we got Zumi. Just
Right.
wanted to
And then wait,
clarify.
Is that ruler increments running along the top of your thingy?
No, for some reason it's weird dates. I bought this bougie
Oh, fun.
notebook from an art store, so it has a lot of cool, but ultimately meaningless details in it.
Those
Can I ask a clarifying question about Milo? You said you were 5 to 10 years older, your lifespan. What is your expected lifespan?
About 60 years.
Okay, great. Cool.
Okay.
So, not to get trapped in like a temporal paradox, but somehow I feel like I am twice the age of Milo, but maybe to each species the maturity level advances proportional to our lifespan.
Yeah, I feel like that. Makes
So you're
sense.
like, yeah, you're like
Yeah.
120 years old in Connor
known
years.
I don't know. Yeah, like I don't want to speak for Tom's wisdom. I don't want to make declarative statements about your character, but he seems very young. And,
Yeah. You baby.
Hi.
he baby.
Stay
Yeah.
Hi.
You baby.
Mushroom level. Okay.
He knows two things. He knows mushroom, he knows song. That's what he's about.
God, I wish that was me. What could you need?
I think we did a really good job of making 4 little beautiful nerds who have nothing in common, and I love it so
That's
much.
how you make a complete party. You're quite a maybe not literally colorful group, but eclectic. You're an eclectic group.
Yeah.
And I mean that makes sense. Again, from the place that you're from, the island of Freya, this huge land. It is not a town. It is many towns. It is cities. Many different backgrounds can come together there. But I mean, you would know this about Tinderdale, though there is little known about Tinderdale. This little like patch of safety, this little island, so to speak. And to be clear, when I say island, I don't mean literally surrounded by the sea. It's just like the word for, little protected areas of land. I've confused people before with that, so I'm making it clear. This
Like
little
safe
island
havens
is,
of.
yeah, haven, is basically just a single town that you would know is down the way from this train station. So you all step off, you look around, the silence settles around you as the train vanishes. and all you have to look at is each other. And then, if you just step, a few feet down to the right where the steps lead you from this platform, just right to the dirt road. This is only one platform here at Tinderdale. You can see just barely ahead another light. It looks like perhaps embedded in a tree or on a lamppost that's like too small to make out from this distance. And the road stretches onward from here into a fairly heavy, dense wood. Behind you, there is no path at all.
Do you
Well,
think
we
there's
say-
mushrooms in the woods?
Yes, Tom, I do reckon there are mushrooms in the wood. But you remember what we talked about, you understand? All mushrooms ain't for eating.
Right, yes. But all are to be collected and appreciated because they're each unique like the round little snowflakes.
Sure, yeah, they're each unique. Yeah, of course they are, Tom.
Wonderful. So should we get the mushrooms now and like forget the adventure, or in addition to?
Tom, what if along the way you pointed out your favorite mushrooms, and we made a special little bag for you to keep all of these prized souvenirs from our trip.
Hey, in fact, and
Wonderful.
Zumi turns over the latest pumpkin he'd carved and like ties some twine around it and makes you essentially like a little jack-o'-lantern purse. Be like, why don't you use this? This is for you. And but it's a big pumpkin, so I think it takes up half of your body weight.
My favorite. Thank you.
You can sing us the song about mushrooms you came up with on the way.
Yeah, go ahead. Come on, Tom. Let's hear that mushroom song, that little ditty of yours.
Yeah, I'll totally commit to this bit, but I just want to make sure that we're on the same page about where we're walking. So where exactly are we going?
We're going to the wood, Tom. Let's hear the mushroom song.
Elvia, you
Okay,
good with
great.
going to the woods?
I'm sorry?
You okay with going to the woods straight off?
I mean, seems like this path is singular. Best follow it, see where it takes us, It should be safe since we're so close to town, and a little music does make the traveling lighter.
Hey, and it'll alert everyone that we're around.
Exactly. The element of surprise is not necessary when you're amongst friends.
I am so tall and old, and I wear bells. I would be ruining any element of surprise. No way, no how.
I feel like age-wise, I'm really kind of isolated here. Because Elvia's like I don't know, she's like 35, 40 humanoid years old.
Technically also 34, but in a different way.
Like very young.
Yeah.
We've been around the same amount of time, but have vastly
You just
different
grow
maturity
so
levels.
much faster. That's funny.
While we're going down this road here, can I just kind of get a feel for flora, the fauna, the vibe of the road?
Yeah. So, most of the trees still have their leaves, but you can tell from these like spaced out little patches of light that they're mostly turning like golden and orange and red. The sounds of your footsteps are quite loud, even without the bells. If you're not trying to stealth, there's a crunching sound with each step you take, and you do indeed see, like amongst these like, bright leaves scattered on this dark soil, mushrooms and these perfect acorns that do stand out to you, both because they're incredibly large. Like these acorns are, the size of like two of your fists held together. These mushrooms could be dinner plates.
Whoa.
So, Tom.
May I harvest some? Pretty pleased with the cherry on top. I want them. Can I collect both the mushrooms and the acorn? Put them in my jack-o'-lantern?
Yeah. Not many of them will fit. Because you are the littlest little guy. And these are huge. But you can definitely collect a couple of each.
Tom,
if I may. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna just say, Zumi has an interest in acorns. I have
Oh,
not
fun.
said if you'd like, I could take acorns while you take mushrooms.
Fabulous.
Or
I think
wanted to do.
great. If it's possible, I would love to use Create Bindle to effectively turn the jack-o'-lantern into a handy haversack, which is like it's 8 cubic feet and can hold up to 80 pounds, but the actual object itself will only weigh about 5 pounds. It's kind of sort of like a bag of holding almost. So theoretically, wouldn't weigh too much and could hold lots of mushrooms,
Do it.
maybe an acorn or two.
Yeah.
Fab.
I won't deprive you of those.
Yay! Thank you.
I would never.
What kind of correspondence do we receive from this wealthy benefactor? Were we sent a letter with the charge of this quest? Did we meet with this person in purpose? Oh, excuse me, in person.
You were advised to kind of keep it hush hush what you're interested in, or to basically you were advised like not to reveal that you're here to steal stuff. You weren't told that you like can't ask around or anything like that. But short answer, no. You were not given a specific person you were supposed to seek out.
But do we? It is a clear path. We have a sense of where we're going, and we have reason to believe this path leads towards this church, or this is just a path, and we don't yet know where it goes, or if the church is our objective.
That's what it sounds like. There's not a lot known about this place, but you do know that there is like one little town, and then this church where apparently a treasure is being hoarded. I think it's reasonable to believe that this path probably leads to the town.
I lean over to Milo while the mushroom and acorn gathering is happening. It's like, honestly, it makes me happy to see us all together again. It reminds me of when things were a lot easier, huh, Milo?
It's nice. I try not to get too caught up in the past, but I won't pretend like I've entirely calcified. It's nice to see you.
You've always been a bit of had a very soft heart. You know, we're supposed
Old
to steal
sappy, you
something
could just say it.
I know, you're sappy, but stealing from a church, I hope that won't doesn't complicate things for you too much.
Well,
I like working with you, but I hope we're both ready to do what we got to do to get paid.
I'm ready to learn what it is that we're being asked to do, and my moral compass, it spins and it twirls. We'll see which way it heads and which way it faces when we get there. I've got your back, Elvia. I'm not.
Oh, I've got your back too. Don't. That's not what I'm worried about. It's just the voice from the deep has been getting more insistent. He wants this ritual to happen fast, and she's like fingering the fishbone necklace as she talks. I'm hoping after I get the money from this job, maybe the voice will quiet down for a couple of months at least.
Well,
I'm very, very insistent.
I'm hoping that too, Elvia. I can't pretend like I know what it's like to have that weight bearing down on me from the other side, but I hope you have the whatever it is to stand your own ground from time to time.
With the voice of the deep, he doesn't really know a lot about ground.
I understand. All right, let's go.
Y'all got enough mushrooms?
Yeah,
Acorns all loaded up?
I think Zumi is at this point holding up little Tom as high to reach a mushroom on a high tree. And I think for just a second, you hear Zumi be like, now, and like places Tom on his shoulder, just one shoulder, and be like, young Tom, you know a lot about mushrooms and how they can cause death, right?
What? They can do what? You can die from a mushroom?
We talked about this so many.
Yeah.
We had the song.
We had the song,
that was...
young Tom.
This song was warning of future consequences. I didn't realize it was death. I thought that maybe you just have like a bad bowel movement.
Oh, Tom, no. They can be straight up toxic. They can be good. They can be bad. It's like anything
The
in
white
life.
ones with the red spots. If you eat them, it makes you hurt a lot. Remember?
See,
Verse 2.
yes, I thought that was like, oh no, like my tummy hurts, not like I die.
Well, your
I
tummy
think
hurts, and then you die. You die because of the
No.
pain.
We'll go over the
Tom,
song again.
for
We'll
the
go
past
over.
several years, Tom, if not sneaks into the cemetery that Milo is charged with caring for, but like, consensually wanders in and hangs out amongst the forest and the wood and the gravestones. And I'm gonna say like, Cassidy, tell me if I'm speaking on your behalf too much, but like every third or fourth day, we will have this conversation.
For sure.
Like
For
often
sure.
like, after you've already eaten one of these mushrooms, and
Yes,
Milo's like,
absolutely.
ah, dang it.
I feel like you've written a vast majority of the songs to try and teach me, but I just
Yeah.
keep.
Milo's inceptioning Tom to stop just eating mushrooms.
Yeah, I think Zuby had hoped to like consult Tom's and expertise, and then realized again Tom probably doesn't know, or if he ever knew, doesn't recall at the time. So he gently puts Tom down and like leaves our two little ones behind, and he quickly goes up to Elvie and he goes, "I can't guarantee nothing, but I don't know what your voice wants, but I think I might have found a solution. Not to
Oh,
your problems
yeah?
necessarily, but to just saying." I heard I heard a thing about acorns, and I heard a thing about here. And I have a mind to think that maybe the treasure has to go with that. Now I don't know, but if you see me on the hunt for something, I just want you to know I have all our best interests in mind.
I believe you. I mean, might have been 2 years since last time we worked together, Zoom, but by God, I'll never forget the 3 separate times you sacrificed yourselves for the good of the group. This group and other
Honest,
groups.
I honestly think each of those lives was spent wisely. And who was
Amen.
there that last time I came back? It was you, Elvia.
You and me.
Milo's
I
gonna
was scared. I thought that one was going to be the last one. I forgot to count the bales. After how long like is this path before it gets to its destination or its town?
Yeah, you, accompanied by the sound of bells and Tom's lovely singing um, about mushrooms and tummy aches, find yourself walking through the remainder of the darkness of the night. It's a good maybe like 6 miles of walking. Um, it's not quite a hike. It's pleasant. The road, though not paved, is well maintained. Um,
Hmm.
and by the time you all start to see the like, shape of roofs ahead of you instead of the tree line, the sun is starting to rise. You're seeing the reds in the sky. The darkness
Whoa.
above you is turning pale, and you also see a fairly low, just wooden fence surrounding this town. As you leave the line of trees, you look to the left. You see there are some cows looking at you, kind of with dull expressions as you step out, and then they look back to the grass they're eating. To the right, you see a herd of sheep, similarly vaguely curious about your arrival before they go back to what really matters, which is food. And at the entrance of a gate, you see a fairly tall, broad shouldered figure in a like, small, sort of short cloak, um, holding a branch like a cane, like a stick, leaning against the fence. And as soon as you all step out, her attention is pulled towards you. Um, she has she has a friendly expression on her face. Like as soon as she sees you, she has this long silver hair in a braid down the back of her head and back, an undercut around the side. Um, And though she has those like sort of muscular, wide shoulders, her eyes are bright, this sort of like bright brown that like twinkles as she looks to each of you. She has a wide nose covered in freckles. It's basically, she has the frame of a farmer or a laborer, but also looks like she could, pull a candy from her bag at any moment and offer it to each of you. And she steps forward from her place leaning against this fence and comes to meet you in the middle of these fields and gives you each a little nod. Hey, y'all don't look like you're from around these parts. You,
Just got off the train about 6 miles back.
I'm so sorry that they come at such inopportune time, middle of the night. You must be tired. My name's Marilyn. Pleasure to meet y'all. Welcome to Tinderdale. I guess you call me the guard of this place, or the shepherd, or whatever. I don't know. I'm here to bring you to the city if you want. We didn't really expect visitors. I mean, we could find a place for you to stay if you want. And you can tell she has this like gentle kind of concern to her expression as she talks. Pardon, I'm not used to hosting a breakfast. You need breakfast, right?
Breakfast sounds great. And we don't need nothing too fancy, just as long as we got a little place to lay down at some point, that's fine by me. But breakfast, that sounds mighty nice. Thank you.
Of course.
And as long as y'all don't mind some mushroom singing, that will happen.
Pardon, some what?
Mushroom.
Mushroom.
Action of mushrooms, nature's bounty.
She laughs. That's a pretty good find you got there. These, and she points to the mushroom caps. These are real good in a stew, or even just sautéed on a pan. You'll have a chance to try some at breakfast, but of course, feel free to take some for your own if you find them out there. Hey, why don't y'all come?
Thank you.
And
Tom's freaking stoked.
She leads you inside the gate, and the town is still mostly asleep at this point, but here and there a few people are stepping out of their homes to take care of the chickens out in their yard, to open the blinds to let in some of the weaker sunlight on this rather cold day. You can still see your breath in the air, and anyone you walk by gives you a look. They seem to be a little more distrustful or calculating than your friend Marilyn here. You even see one person like open a curtain, see you walk by, close it immediately again. But she doesn't seem to take any note. She continues to walk you through this little town. She points out the library's right over there. Over there's the best tavern in town, and by best tavern in town, I mean only tavern in town. So it's the best. Let's see. Over there, that's where the cafe is if you need some coffee or tea, libations for the morning. And she leads you to a small cottage and stops in front of it. This here's my place. I'm afraid there's not a ton of space here, but if you need a place to rest your head a bit until breakfast comes around, it should be a couple hours from now. They're just getting started cooking. And I can take you to our dining hall. I'm excited to have some visitors. So please don't hold yourselves back if you're the shy type when it comes to being hosted. I'm happy to have you here.
We appreciate your hospitality. Me and my friends, we're here on a bit of a pilgrimage, trying to see some of the local religious sites. But making our way around to all these different islands as the rail network's been expanding. And just kind of wondering what is there to see around here in religious nature.
You watch as this like friendly, smiley face that she has had kind of falls slightly, turns a little more serious, and she looks around. No one is really about, but she still opens her door and gestures for y'all to come inside.
Oh, right. I jump in. I go through the door. I jump in. I walk like a normal person through the door.
You leap through the door. As you all enter, she closes it behind her and crosses her arms, like looks at all of you again. Y'all are here trying to figure out what's happening at the church, aren't you? It's all right if you
I
are.
mean, we're interested in the local tourist economy.
Right, but you're here because you're trying to break into the church, right?
Marilyn, nobody looks around to see who's listening and then beckons us inside a closed door if they don't have something they're trying to say. So how about you just go ahead and say it?
I'm not. She raises her hands in surrender. I'm not. There's not much I can provide, I'm afraid, but I'd be willing to help y'all if that's what you're trying to do. None of us are allowed to leave Tinderdale. We don't know exactly.
On whose orders?
The acolytes in the church.
Interesting.
How long have they been holding you here?
I mean, my whole life.
What would happen if you did try to leave?
I don't know. I feel like if I tried to leave, I wouldn't be able to come back. It's like there's a tether holding me here.
You feel it right now?
Explain it. What was that?
Do you feel it right now, this tether?
No, it's only if I try stepping up to the train station.
Hmm.
And I mean, hell, maybe it'd be fine. Maybe I'm worried about nothing, but I know I'm not the only one who feels this. Like it's dangerous.
You trust your gut. You feel it. You feel it.
I do, and you know, I guess maybe I shouldn't say this to worldly travelers like yourselves, but I like to consider myself a scholar of sorts. Though our library's not terribly impressive, we've had a couple travelers in and out who have left books there in the years past. So, you know, I learn when I can, but I'd love to be able to leave. Anyway,
It's a great big world out there.
That's what I heard.
Now, you said travelers in and out, so it could be possible to leave?
Well, for travelers, yeah. For people who just come, you know, we got a couple people here and there who've stepped into Tinderdale and stayed for a day. I guess you'd call them tourists. It's a lovely town. Don't get me wrong. We got something special here. I mean, you found our mushrooms, which are, I mean, those are like a treasure in themselves. So you haven't tried them yet, and our acorns. We make tea sets out of them. Look, and she like pulls like a little handkerchief out of her pocket. One of the travelers gave me this hand embroidered handkerchief in exchange for one of our little tea sets, and she was happy to have that and be on her way. We don't mind giving little treasures like that. Unfortunately, it's not what most people are interested in.
Well, sounds like you. Clarifying question: how long have the acolytes been in power here? Has it been something since you were born, or is this a more recent development?
Oh, years since before I was born. I mean, it's always been the place, the way here. It's now I don't want to seem too ungrateful. It's probably how we keep our protection, but I mean, I guess that's the cost. I guess it's the price we pay.
Now, Marilyn,
Yeah.
if I may, because I asked very few questions before I accepted this mission. I'm trying to remedy that.
Ain't that
Can
just the
you
way?
tell us anything about the character of these acolytes? What are they like? Do they have habits you know of?
Yeah, about that. Um, I've never properly met. They, uh, they don't often leave their grounds, I guess you'd call them.
Mm.
We have a messenger we can send in and out, but that's all they are, just a messenger. They're a real tight knit group.
You
Strange,
access. Oh, go ahead, Tom.
Is the messenger one of the acolytes, or is the messenger a local?
Well, I guess the acolytes are locals, but if you mean, uh, what's a respectful way to say this? A normal local, a local, a
Mm.
common folk local. Um, it's a local, yeah. Um, just we just tell them what we need, and they provide it.
Do you know where we might be able to find them?
Messenger? They'll be,
Yes,
of course. She'll be at the breakfast. I'm happy to
wonderful.
introduce you.
Thank you.
You've been the welcoming party for some time now here in Tinderdale, is that correct?
Um, it's not exactly a desirable post, so I often take it, but it's not just me. There's a few
Oh,
of us
shucks.
who, watch over the animals, mostly on the lookout for beasts, but once in a while, I guess people come by.
Well, you may not find it desirable, but I'll tell you, I'm awful grateful that you found us. You've been incredibly hospitable. Maybe you remember about 6 to 7 months back, a trio of other visitors that came through, friends of ours.
A trio. These also treasure hunters?
Yeah, it came from Ephria, just like us.
Tall one, missing a bunch of his bottom teeth.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know it though. He talks just fine.
Yeah.
There's Pancake. Eats pancakes.
She's. You can roll. Actually, I'm gonna have all of you first roll of the session. Have you all roll an insight check.
It's going to need 11 for Milo.
11 for Tom.
20.
20.
13 all for Elvia.
13 for Elvia.
19 for Zumi.
Okay, so Elvia and Zumi. Wait, what did Milo get? Sorry.
11 as well.
11. So Elvia and Zumi. The more, I think you can tell, like, she was like, "Oh, a trio. Can you say more, or whatever?" That was clearly stalling, while she runs the right answer through her mind. She has this, sort of pursed lip kind of look to her. Suddenly, the like warm smile goes away. And you can tell from the way she now won't look at you that probably something bad has happened to your friends. And she gives this little shrug. I'm afraid I'm not sure what their whereabouts are. I apologize.
I take my hood off in respectful mournfulness.
I look at Elvia and I kind of give a little shake to my life bells.
Mm-hmm.
Also kind of look down. Well,
Oh, how about this breakfast, huh?
How about this breakfast? I'm so hungry I
I'm
could eat my cousin.
starving.
how about
I-
need food, calories?
She immediately relaxes as you all change subject. Right. Well, breakfast is going to be just a couple hours. Why don't you all just rest up here? I know you probably had a bit of a long walk from the station, and well, you'll hear the bell when it's breakfast time, but I'll check on you two, make sure that you hear it, and I'll lead you right on over. How's that sound?
Can I ask something of you, our DM Moon?
Yes.
As we were walking through town and we saw folks, peering at us, did I notice anything distinguishing? Was there a certain flower pinned to the lapel of certain folks? Was there a brooch in their hair? Just some small indicator that there might be a subgroup, a collective group amongst the town.
Let's make this. I think investigation works for this one.
Okay. Can I sell you on perception, or you set on investigation?
You can sell me. I was wibbly wobbling back and forth, so I'll take it.
I'm not trying to bully you. I'll take
No,
what you
no,
give
do
me.
it.
But
Perceive.
that'll be an 18, please.
18. There didn't seem to be any like special mark that you could find on anyone. You didn't see a ton of people, but most people seem to be dressed in like well maintained but simple fabrics, like cottons and linens, some wool, perhaps from the sheep just outside. There didn't even seem to be. I think what stood out to you actually was that you didn't really find any sign of differentiation. Like everyone seemed to have, not in a cookie cutter uniform way, but everyone seemed to be the same as far as like their status went. Houses of similar size, yards of similar size, the clothes of similar quality. Though there were personal differentiations between the rest, and I think that would, with an 18, stand out to you as kind of surprising, considering most places have the richer, fancier neighborhood and like the poorer neighborhood. This one felt sort of all the same.
Right.
And just to clarify, we have a few hours until breakfast, and you're leaving us alone in your house.
Are you asking me the DM, or are you asking?
I'm asking the DM. I was like, oh, is Marilyn with us still for the next few hours, or is departing for something and will come get us later?
No, she, as soon as she gets a few blankets from a little chest of drawers in the back, and she sort of lays them out in various places in this simple little living room area that she has. She pushes a table aside so that she can set out essentially a makeshift bedroll for you, and gather some pillows. And she's like, make yourself comfortable. I should probably go finish watching over cows and sheep and stuff until the next person comes, and I'll see you in a couple hours. And she does just step out the door and close it behind her and walk away.
Tom is asleep before she even leaves.
God. Good for you, Tom. You really are living the life that I want to live.
As I start setting out, as Elvia starts setting out her bedroll, she kind of like just talks to Zoom and Milo. It's like, by all intents and purposes, aside from the missing people, this seems like, frankly, a pretty okay place to live. As Marilyn said, it seems the acolytes provide whatever it is the town needs, and I ain't find no one wanting for much. It's
but they can't
a little
leave.
too right. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, why keep people locked in what seems like a bit of a, if mundane, but at least like easy paradise? These tethers, I think that was a key word in what Marilyn explained to us. And I've like taken off like my big robe and rolled it up into like a little like pillow, and where I'm wearing just like a much simpler sort of like dungarees. Is there denim in this universe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have like denim overalls under the cloak.
Zumi pours each of you a mug from the acorn set that he finds in Marilyn's house of maple milk. And as he hands the glass over, he goes, "What do you think, Mama?"
Well, I reckon we're about to find out that things ain't exactly what they seem. And I'll reserve judgment until.
I mean,
But
she seemed to know what we were here to do. It was very strange, or at least not strange, but I guess we're not definitely not the first ones to try.
yeah, I suspect when you've got wealth, and as long as you got the money to keep buying tries, you're gonna keep trying to get whatever they're looking for. It'd be foolish
Yeah.
of me to think that I was the first to come out here.
Don't
I
seem
know
right.
myself enough to know that I ain't anybody's first choice for an adventure these days.
We lost 3 teeth in pancakes just a few months back, I would say. Seems to me no matter what. Now, Milo, I can't speak for your reasons. I know it's church, but people can't leave. At least some people are dying because of it. I see fit to go find out what's going on.
Yeah, I suspect we will.
As we're like thinking about that, like Elvia just like kind of lays down, closes her eyes, and that's like what Zumi says is kind of the last thing she hears before she drifts into a Piscean dream.
I think Milo will just be seated for a moment and then sort of a deep breath, makes his way outside, finds a nice wide tree to lean his back up against, and nod off underneath it.
Zumi sets his bells carefully from his neck on the door, so he'll next hear when it gets opened. And then he does that thing where he just takes all the blankets and makes a huge pile and like pads at them, and eventually just becomes a loaf and face down. Also, it takes a little.
Yes. All right. I'll go off to sleep. And there are the sounds around you of the morning beginning. You can hear the next door neighbor's door creak as he wakes up and tends to his garden. You can hear the occasional footsteps of people walking by outside, but it is mostly a quiet place, and you are all able to fall into a restful sort of slumber. And you are awakened by the sound of bells. Not the bells on the door, but they sound like church bells. A loud, echoing sound that covers the entirety of this town. And it's not long after, just a few moments, that ding-a-ling-a-ling, your bells on the door begin to jingle as Marilyn pushes it open and steps in and puts her hands on her hips, looks at all of you. It looks like you had a wait, and she counts. One of you's missing. The fuzzy one.
Before she even finishes the sentence, Milo politely has stepped in and closes the door behind him.
Oh, pardon.
Didn't mean to spook you.
Well, I hope y'all managed to rest all right. It is about breakfast time. If you want to come join me in the dining hall.
Would love to.
Sure would.
All right.
Grab my bells back, put them back around my neck.
Follow me. And
Tom, wake up!
Huh? What? Oh, it's breakfast time already. Maybe time to eat the mushrooms.
obsessed with Tom.
I picture Tom having sat straight up from the ground, and the helmet is kind of completely covering his face and head.
He's like shoving it up.
I also imagine,
Or
correct me,
the pot,
like Tom
excuse me.
mutters constantly in his sleep. Like if
Oh, yeah.
there was a person that actually slept like me, like that are the honk schnoo master.
Yes,
Absolutely.
you're right. Yeah, Marilyn watches you all, watches Tom with a fondness as you all get up and get ready to go again. Clearly delighted by this little guy.
I scoop Tom onto my shoulder again. Oh, we stoop through the door, and then I just have Tom riding on my shoulder.
He may or may not fall asleep again on your shoulder as we make our way to the breakfast hall.
But he can hold onto my ears just for like reins.
That's so cute.
There's definitely a bit more traffic now. as people all begin to make their way to this dining hall that Marilyn spoke of. It's close to the tavern that she pointed out earlier, and it's a single-story building made of logs just stacked up, and it looks like half of it is covered by a roof and half of it is basically an open patio. And right now the table that is set up is outside on that patio, and it's just this long, thin table that is just covered with a harvest. It looks like a harvest feast of sorts, and it's like this harvest is overflowing practically off the table. There's this riot of color. There are deep purple, blackberries and these honey golds, fragrant crust of bread, and fruits and vegetables like deep green leaves of kale. And I think the smell actually hits you all before you even arrive to see the scene. Like savory and spiced and sweet. This like cacophony of comforting smells of warmth. You also do see those acorns that you managed to gather that you saw littering the forest floor, as Marilyn mentioned. Townsfolk are pouring a fragrant tea from the like spout carved into the I guess body of the acorn, into the acorn caps, which they're using as teacups. It's picturesque to the point that it almost feels like a dream. Like maybe you didn't actually wake up from your little nap in Marilyn's house. And people are definitely noticing you all as you come in. They give Marilyn, polite greetings. Oh, hey, good morning, and then look to you all, and the friendly waves turn to something a little shyer, a little more hesitant. Not mean, like there's no one who's glaring at you. There's no one who's like clicking their tongue or shaking their head as you walk by, but you're feeling immediately the weight of small town gossip as you walk by, and people will turn to whoever's next to them and begin, murmuring something. But Marilyn marches through this crowd like she doesn't hear anything at all, and gestures to the table, gestures to some plates set at either end, and says, "Y'all can help yourself. Don't hold back. Again, know you've got a long journey. We've had a long journey, and you've probably also got a long journey ahead of you. It's free for all, of course, so you don't have to trade anything for this. We got more food than we can eat. So go ahead and enjoy. I'm gonna tuck in myself." And she grabs a plate and some utensils and just immediately begins to dig into this platter of like scrambled eggs that have been placed above small fires that people are scooping from.
Please.
Just out of curiosity, could we make some kind of like perception or investigation check to see, like, does it seem like we truly are the only visitors in town right now and everyone else here is a local?
Yeah. I feel like that might be, I think that's an insight. I'm going to make that an insight check.
Cool. Love that. It's going to be a 14?
14. That does seem to be the case. No one else is quite standing out in the way that you are here. If there are other visitors in town, they're probably not at this feast.
Cool.
Similarly, is there anyone, as we get these sort of curt stares and side-mouthed gossip, is there anyone who seems optimistic, hopeful, or genuinely excited that we're here?
Let's do another insight check. Oh, so many insight checks.
16.
16. That's pretty good. There is generally a nervousness or like caution about the people who are noticing you and talking about you, but it's not all necessarily feeling negative or aggressive. Again, people aren't glaring at you.
Sure.
There's interest.
But no one stands out as particularly.
No one
stands
out
out against this individually.
Yeah, you don't see like a Aragorn type in the corner, with a hood glaring at you in the darkness.
No one's going, Like this.
Yeah, it
But
looks
that-
like there's curiosity at most about your presence here.
And is there any way for us to try to glean who this acolyte liaison could be, just as we approach this breakfast area?
Oh, I mean, Marilyn will point them out to you if
Okay.
Cool.
I think even you already expressed interest, so you don't have to ask again.
Okay.
She right before she digs into her eggs, she's like, "Oh, right. You wanted to speak to Day. She's right over there," and she just like blatantly points to this dragonborn, this sort of slim dragonborn figure, looking a little bit more lizard-like than dragon-like, with like broad copper scales and big green eyes, wearing this like button-up, sort of loose, purplish linen shirt, digging into some of those blackberries mentioned earlier with one of those teacups in her hand, and she like looks up as Marilyn points her way, and her attention is immediately then brought to the lot of you, and you can see the shape of her shoulders even though she's across this space as she sighs and sets down the plate and begins to make her way over to you, picking her way through the crowd.
I think in this case I'd be like, I kind of see that, I'd be like, oh, no harm, don't want to interrupt you and your delicious looking blackberries. In fact, may we join you? And I think Zumi in that case like tries to be polite because these plates are somewhat small in his paw. So he doesn't do the thing where he doesn't want to be overserved or greedy, but he also needs a lot of food, so he like fills one of these plates as tall as it can, like a tiny plate but just stacked with food, and I'm going to try to go sit over with Day to eat as opposed to make her come to us.
She'll sit down as soon as you motion for her to stay.
Okay.
Do the rest of you follow suit?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Then yeah, she picks up her blackberries again, waits for you all to gather around, and before you have the chance to say anything, she says, "I'm assuming you're all interested in the church, right?" Yeah.
We love church.
Oh, that's good to hear. Well, I guess I should start out by saying you're not the first ones who've told me that they're interested in the church, which I bet you're not surprised to hear, because usually they end up coming to me, and usually I end up telling them the same thing every time, which is that only acolytes are allowed within the church walls, and that it's quite dangerous for you to go there against the wishes of our guardian who protects our island, and you can head in at your own risk. But unfortunately, it is certainly a risk. And no, I can't just guide you right in and bring you audience with a representative in there, the leader of the acolytes. I'm afraid I'm just the messenger. So please don't shoot me.
Good. That's good.
I like that one.
But
I lean over to Tom and I'm like, it sounds like she's said this speech a bunch before.
I don't think so. It feels very new to me. Excuse me. Can I ask what's the name of the guardian who protects this island?
she hesitates, and that bored kind of look to her fades away. Actually, no one's ever asked for its name, but we don't know. We don't really know much about what you'll find in there. They keep it real hush hush. We just know that it's how we make our living, I guess. The water that we drink, the soil that we use to grow our crops. They say it all is blessed by whatever we got going on inside the church walls. But we just call it our guardian.
fascinating. I'm sorry if this sounds judgmental, but it truly is coming from a place of curiosity. Do you not feel any desire to express gratitude to the guardian who is protecting you and helping you with this bounty?
Well, of course I'm grateful. I, did I seem like I'm
No,
not?
no, I was curious if you had ever made an attempt to, well, I suppose as the messenger you are able to go in and out of the church, but if the other people around you wanted to express similar gratitude, they themselves can't go in and say thank you, can they?
Well, no, I guess we can't say it in words, but and she looks around at all of the people happily chatting and feasting around you. You can only hear each other if you lean in close. There's a lot of chatter going on in this little like open roof building here, and she gestures to this crowd. I think everyone's showing their gratitude now, aren't they? I mean, we all love this place, and hopefully that's good enough for the person who's, well, I guess not person, but the being that's giving it all to us. I've heard there are places far out there that are a little more transactional. They have to give their guardian some payment, then they get something nice in return. But that's not exactly the way we run things here.
Ain't nothing transactional about saying, hey, this is a delicious breakfast. Thank you so much for it.
Oh, I guess that's true. But I do think it's maybe a little more respectful to not try to break into the place I'm forbidden to go to, just to say, hey, thanks for the blackberries. So
Sure.
I usually hang back to where I've been delegated to go. But listen, I know fuck all about a sword, so I'm not going to try to stop you if you go in. I'm just the messenger, just here to tell you what'll happen if you do.
Well, yeah, I suspect if I said thank you for the blackberries holding a sword unsheathed in my hands, it might have a bit of a different meaning. But I respect your manners, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
I don't mind it.
Hearing a lot about this. Oh, sorry, please.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just wondering, where is it? Usually, most churches are kind of the foundational epicenter of their town, but and I like kind of scan the skyline, so to speak, of this town. Like, where exactly is this the Guardian and the church?
It's out a little ways. You see that rise over there?
That one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just, well, not behind it entirely, but if you walk around it, it's about halfway around amongst the trees. You can't see it well from
Right. Yeah.
here, but if you
Take
look
that
real
dip over
carefully,
there.
yeah, exactly. You might be able to see the top spire. Um, I can I can lead you over if you like. I usually check in every day, see if there's anything I need to do. Um,
Sure would
Yeah. I mean,
appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
once yeah, whenever you're finished with your meal, I like have eaten some like cinnamon rolls and other like little breakfasty stuff. But that'd be perfect.
Yeah, I think
awesome.
Tom filled up his plate way bigger than anything he could actually have eaten, and so he ate as much as he could and then just shoved it over to oh God, Maddie, what's your character's name?
Zoom.
Zoomy.
Zooming.
Zumi.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And this
Zumi
is
has all of Tom's leftovers.
I'm accustomed to this, so I just like wink at you and dig in too.
All right. Does Milo have some breakfast as well?
Absolutely.
Excellent. Um, unsurprisingly, based on the smell, the meal is delicious. It all tastes like what each of these foods seem like they like. If you look at a cinnamon roll, if you look at a well baked loaf of bread, it can never taste quite as good as like how you imagine it looking just when it's
Yeah.
beautiful. But these do.
God.
Like these taste
Mm.
like they're supposed to taste. And
Uh,
What was it?
Is I'm sorry. I don't Cassidy is so suspicious of this, but like Tom is not.
Yeah.
Is there like a way to check if this is like magically infused food?
Do you have like detect magic or anything like that?
I don't. But what if I just roll Arcana?
You could always just roll Arcana.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I have a terrible modifier. I'm not intelligent, if that comes as a surprise to anyone.
Hey, don't say that about yourself.
Funny.
That's an 18!
Woo. Okay. 18's pretty good. So you take a couple bites. You're like, Tom, you realize this is. It tastes wholesome. You don't get a feeling of dread in the pit of your stomach like when you eat one of those mushrooms that Milo told you not to eat. It it makes you feel a little bit stronger, a little bit more awake, better than any cup of coffee would. Um, it seems like there is perhaps some kind of inherent magic to these feast items, but it doesn't seem to be an evil thing. And you all get +5 temporary hit points.
Hey.
Oh, cool.
And
I was suspicious in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I bet that witch in the candy hut didn't give those kids 5 points of temp HP.
I think
The
We're
would you
doing
say, Moon,
great.
that we all kind of feel that jolt of good energy, good. Okay.
Yeah, you may not
I'm gonna
identify
grab.
it, but in the way that Tom did, as the one who was like more aware. But yes, you do all feel revitalized after this meal.
I think instinctually, I just fill one of my pockets with a bunch of cinnamon rolls as on our way out.
Yes, good, as you should. Okay, so after you feast, uh, you are led out of the town. Marilyn Marilyn like watches you all go and gives you all a wave as you leave, and gives you 2 thumbs up, like a "you got this." But there is definitely a bit of nervousness about her, and uh, you're led just as you were shown to the slight rise in the woods just outside of the main part of the town, and it's not like there is in this area, there's no like gate separating the woods from the town. It seems as if this gate must stretch around it. This is included as part of the property of the town. Um, and the trees begin to thicken again, but not quite as intensely, not quite as close as the pathway from the station. And then finally, as you lose sight of all of those roofs, as you lose sight of any of the pastures, you get a better look at what they've been calling the church. But all you can see is a towering stone wall that reaches to just the top of the tall trees here. There are a few more pines scattered around, these like big sweeping evergreen branches, and just at the pointed top you can see the wall stops. And then somewhere within this wall is some sort of building with a spire. You just see that stone spire barely peeking over. And the path comes to an end outside this wall, and there's just a small little, like, you have to, the tall ones in this group would have to get on your hands and knees to go through it. Just a small little wooden door near the base of it. And your guide gestures to that. Yeah, so if you really want to do this, that's where you go.
Elvia mutters under her breath. If some folks might be able to hear us, like, I have to do this. She grabs the fishbone necklace even tighter.
I reckon this is where we say goodbye.
Yeah, hopefully not forever.
Of course not. Now I know, well, I don't know, but I suspect that if we asked you for advice, your advice would be don't walk through that little door. But if you accepted we were going to do that, what might you tell us as a way of parting wisdom?
Uh, I'd say, based on how this seems to go for most, at the first sign of danger, then you should go ahead and skedaddle. But, like most, something tells me that you're going to ignore that advice. Um, so,
Well, don't we just think we know everything about one another? And
well,
maybe you're right.
I'd be happy to see you again if you decide to pop on back out of there as soon as things get iffy. Listen, I'm allowed to go in and out. There's a little path just past the store, so I've never had to face any danger in here. But my experience, I think, is going to be far different from yours.
I appreciate your advice, your hospitality, and your guidance. And I want to cast Mage Hand and try the doorknob.
Yeah. Mage Hand easily pushes the door open. There's this faint
Um,
creak on its hinges.
You see, the Mage Hand conjures itself as this like sopping wet, like webbed hand that's
Cute.
got these like kind of long talons on it.
Love
It's
it.
like dripping that spectral kind of residue as
I
it
love it.
goes up to the door and pushes it open, leaving a ghostly like imprint of like a wet handprint that like evaporates into the wind. I have dark vision, or I guess I should ask, what can I see from the I have dark vision. What can I see from the I just want everyone to know. What can we see through that doorway? And I'm comfortable like going in and like actively like going in through the door jam
Yeah.
and walking in.
Yeah. You peer in. You have to get again on your hands and knees to look into this place. Um, and
Tiny.
and it does. It takes you a moment. You have to like blink as if your vision is obscured. It's this. It's a very sudden transition. The morning was a bit misty, but that mist all cleared with the rising sun. Um, only a few feet away, just outside this little doorway. But inside, the mist is still curling itself around the floor, and you really have to squint to even with your dark vision, you really have to squint to see that. And here, at least close to the door, it's still it's still a forest. It's still a forest floor.
Hmm.
If you crane your neck to look
Oh,
above you,
cool.
you can see there are more trees like reaching up, reaching over. Their branches seem to be oddly oddly long for the size of their trunks, none of which go above the height of the wall, reaching and reaching for each other and stopping just before they meet. And all the light that you get is this, weak light that peers through the cracks between these almost touching branches. You see more of those mushrooms, probably to Tom's delight, and they're
Nice.
sprouting everywhere, like with enthusiasm, um, even larger than the ones you saw back at the feast.
Hmm.
And
Oh
the
yeah.
leaves here that cover the ground are those spidery, skeletal, decayed leaves. Not fiery gold, but like those, webbed ghosts of fallen leaves, and
And
deep black dirt.
dirt.
Hmm. I'd like to just light a torch and just hold it up in the air using my torch and my tinderbox and just provide